Hi everybody and welcome to Beyond Politics. Today we'll be talking about something that's very important, very life-saving and life-giving, and that is water, and specifically the water situation in South Africa.
And what Lauren should have said, emergency, emergency. And I want you to imagine being in a situation where the government cannot supply you with water anymore, or some private entity gives you your bulk water. And just imagine a scenario where that fails completely. How much would you pay for a liter of water if you think of gold and platinum and all the other things? How much would you pay for that 1 liter if you have hours left to live? Think about
Remember, it's 3 days more or less before you will freck without water.
Yeah.
And it makes me reading both, we're going to be covering 2 different articles, very important ones, and it made me think of Mad Max Fury Road, you know, when that monster villainous guy is at the top and he lets out water for like 5 seconds for the minions at the bottom. And I see government and the WEF and organizations as such in the same light.
I definitely think Hollywood had some insight, and Hollywood likes to tell us what is coming our way. So
it's not just Hollywood, it's storytellers
in general. So let's get stuck in.
Yay. Okay, so a while back, so not that long ago, very recently actually, Cyril Ramaphosa gave a speech where he highlighted 4 specific areas he wants to focus to turn the economy around to stimulate 3% growth of our GDP, which I think is a fantasy. But anyway, one of the focus areas, number 4, is water. And I'm sure, let me know in the comments if you are living in a municipality where you have water shortages or problems with drinking water quality or problems with wastewater management, because the areas of how water is affected is very complex. So let us know in the comments if you're in an area where you're experiencing problems. But what he says, he wants to focus on water. And with that, I'm sure many people will celebrate. Yes, finally, the government is doing something. Yes, finally, the GNU is making sure that our water infrastructure is improving. But is it as good as it sounds?
But, there's a but.
But.
Okay, let's get into the but.
A nice big
because
but.
Firstly, taxpayers are going to fork out a lot more money because our government is making massive loans to achieve this. And can you imagine the tenderpreneurs just lining up, salivating to get their hands on that money?
But before we get to the loans, just quickly, we're going to have a new state-owned company. I cannot remember the name. It's so long. It's like National Water Resources Infrastructure Agency, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a long name. And a bill, Cyril Ramaphosa, at the end of last year, and these bills always get passed at the end of the year, signed the bill in to create this agency. And one of the reasons he says he wants this in South Africa is so that the responsibility of water infrastructure is no longer solely with the department. So they're actually combining 3 entities, and they're hoping it's going to stimulate private partnerships so that we can improve our situation. And here are the key goals. We're going to put the link in the description of both the articles we're covering so you can do the research yourself, but we just want to highlight the key goals of this NWRIA, National Water Resources Infrastructure Agency. The key goals: ensuring a sustainable and equitable water supply for all South Africans.
Now that should put fear into your body. When they say sustainable and equitable, it's absolutely not the case. Okay, let's continue.
There'll be very many practices they'll be doing to make sure it's sustainable, whatever. But as it trickles down to the end user, what that translates to, rationing. Then an increasing investment in water infrastructure. Fun. It's like a more opportunity for tenderization.
Now, the thing is, I warned people 4 years ago when we toured around the country that water infrastructure will not be looked after, that there will be a savior situation happening much later, and that is coming now. In 2025 is the year where all the saving, the people will kick off because everything is collapsing around us. This was all deliberate, and I explained that it was part of a meticulous plan hatched many years ago, decades ago, to get control over everything we need to survive. Enslave us more.
Absolutely. What do we need to survive? We need air that we can breathe. We need water to drink in that order. We need food to eat. We need energy to keep us warm or cool. We need and cook and all the rest, and we need shelter. So if government and corporations, together or separately, control those 5 things, we are in big trouble. So the next goal is to improve water quality. Who doesn't want improved water quality? As we've traveled around the country, we can taste the differences in the water. I need to know water quality in South Africa.
Well, you know, a lot of people will tell you that the water quality is atrocious, but there's certain areas that claim that it's really good, like in the Western Cape, where people speak about not just the water quality in potable water, but in the oceans and rivers and things like that. And the public is starting to stand up and say, but this is not the case. We're getting bad quality water, the water smells foul, and many other things, and then the oceans being polluted, where you literally have feces floating in the oceans at what they call blue dot beaches.
So, but also drinking water. I think South Africa has been famous for a long time for having better drinking
Excellent. Better than in many European countries, absolutely. So our drinking water has been top.
So
and now it's going...
Instead of just maintaining the status quo,
Maintain. A lot of people forget what that means.
Government rather destroys and then brings in something to control all human beings. And this is a blueprint being used everywhere. And when we discuss the loan, you'll see how it's playing out. The next key goal of this new state-owned enterprise is addressing the fragmentation in water resource management. And they're going to literally be combining through entities in order to
centralize everything.
Full
control.
Attracting private investment.
There we go.
And in this article, someone later warns that this could be an avenue for more corruption, and the government has to be very careful. Ha ha ha. And then finally, generating revenue from water sales.
Jy sal hoes vir water. You will absolutely cough up to the max for water. So if you think water is expensive right now, brace yourself. Emergency.
So, yeah, we should all be fleeing, in my opinion, might sound extreme, but we should all be fleeing cities, getting ourselves a piece of land, even if it means sharing with someone else, getting rainwater tanks, saving as much water as you can, harvesting as much water as you can, because the government's going to do everything to control your consumption.
And they'll even try and then tax you on doing your own thing.
Yeah, but we can deal with that later.
Yeah, later, we can have that
That's
fight.
Not going to be too difficult.
We can have that fight later.
So here's another, to just put the cherry on the top. SA secures a close to 20 billion rand loan from a BRICS bank, opportunities for water infrastructure developers. So this is specifically for water infrastructure, while load shedding seemingly under control for the present, securing access to water and sanitation services for South Africans appear to be the next looming issue. Gauteng's bulk water supply crisis and fast approaching day zero have been attributed to high water withdrawals by municipalities, largely caused by leaks due to failing municipal infrastructure. So now our government famously does not care about maintaining infrastructure or adding upon. And that has been our biggest crisis with this government that we have right now. And it doesn't matter which party is in charge. I feel like they're so wrapped up in ideology that they forget that governing actually needs to take place.
They're politicians. They're not governors. They govern nothing.
Some scary statistics. I love statistics. And the article opens with statistics. The results of the General Household Survey by Stats SA show that 13% of households in South Africa do not have access to on-site or off-site piped water. And I think that's an atrocity. 16% of households do not even have access to sanitation services. Unbelievable. These are things where I say, let's just stop what we're doing, get that done, and move on. But anyway, the BRICS has a bank. BRICS nations have a bank that they founded, and it's called the New Development Bank. And South Africa, at the end of August, got a loan, approved a loan of 1 billion, which is approximately $1
billion, yeah.
$17.86 billion to South Africa for the enhancement of the South African infrastructure sector. It is anticipated that these funds will be used to fund large national level bulk water infrastructure projects and to address infrastructure funding gaps not covered by the Municipal Infrastructure Grant Program.
But the thing is, this is a loan. This isn't money raised inside the country, and it's 17.86 million rand. Which is a lot. I mean, that's 17,000 million. Once again, people salivating.
It's a loan. It's not like, here's a gift for you. It's a loan.
No, it's a loan.
We have to pay it back. In this economy,
the taxpayers.
Where Cyril has this fantasy of a 3% GDP growth, which ain't going to happen.
No.
And now we have to pay back this loan too. And then the state-owned company is going to cost the taxpayers money to get started. I don't know. It's not looking great. But there's still hope. But anyway, I would suggest to go and look at the New Development Bank, the BRICS Bank, and go have a look at the website. But I'll just quote a few things from their website, and you can do the rest of the research yourself. Established in 2015 by BRICS countries, the new development bank is a multilateral development bank aimed at mobilizing resources for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS and other EMDCs. So they specifically specify on their website multiple times it's sustainable projects only. NDB supports infrastructure and sustainable development projects in alignment with the development objectives of our members and their commitments under the SDGs. What are the SDGs again? It's the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah.
This is BRICS.
So BRICS is aligned with the UN.
So even BRICS is aligned with the UN, and that's sad.
So don't fall for this.
Okay,
people.
but it's worse. Their commitments under the SDGs and the Paris Agreement. We prioritize high impact operations that are climate smart, disaster resilient, technology integrated, and socially inclusive.
Yeah, smart water meters. In other words, government knowing exactly when you're running a washing machine, when you're running a tap, when you're running a bath. AI will understand every move you make within your household. They'll be able to predict your behavior.
This is ultimately human farming. This isn't it's human management. It's not, oh, let's benevolently ensure that humanity progresses by providing free running water to
Maak
everyone.
net die flippend pype reg sodat hy nie lek nie. I mean, just plug the leaks, people.
This is a move to the digitization of every government service, including water, and this is where we are at risk of being controlled because the government or the corporations can remove what we need to survive at just a click of their fingers, and that is not good. We need to do everything in our power to maintain freedom. We need to be aware of what's going on and the decisions governments are making, governments worldwide are making, and realize how that impacts us. So we're going to share the links in the comments and in the description. Please go and read the articles in depth. Knowledge is power. Understand what's going on so that we can make decisions accordingly.
And look at the description below this video. You will find our website there. Go to our website. We give and offer solutions. Our public citizens empowerment training, which is for free, that you can apply for there, will help you to overcome these things, mitigate these things. So it's not just a crisis situation. There are solutions. There's things we can actually actively do. As Lauren mentioned earlier, metros will be more and more controlled. So subscribe to this channel. Click the bell icon so you get notifications for future videos. Like this video. Share this video. Comment on this video. Tell us in the comments how you feel about this level of control.